What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And in this video, I have several different pieces of information for you guys regarding the stimulus check. Nancy Pelosi says they're compromising, and the White House has a specific date on when they expect to get an agreement done for the next stimulus check. But first, if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check and unemployment extension related updates. My wife and I do all the research for you guys every single day, so we can bring you all the information in a quick, concise video. And don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. All right, I got several different things for you guys today, so let's get right into it. First up, Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the Democrats in the House, is defending her position, saying that Democrats have compromised on a new stimulus plan and calls on the Republicans to continue to negotiate. Let me show you.
We have come down. I know some of you say, why can't you compromise? We have compromised. We came down $1 trillion. We asked them to go up $1 trillion. Instead, they went down. Why can't we spend what it takes to shore up the middle class in our country? So again, when we go into negotiation, it's about the allocation of the resources, but it's hard to see how we can go any lower when we only have greater needs.
All right, so let me know your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comments. What she's saying does sound good. They have come down $1 trillion from where they were originally at 3.2 or $3.4 trillion. And initially, the Republicans did go down. They were at a $1 trillion, and then they came out with their skinny bill to see if they could pass things that they thought they agreed on between the two sides, and the skinny bill was around $500 billion. So she is telling the truth there, but then the Republicans have come back up and they went to 1.3 trillion, and they've mentioned 1.5 trillion since then. She didn't mention that. That's okay. Obviously she's telling her side of the story. I do agree with her there in that she has come down more than the Republicans have come up. But I don't agree with her there in what she's saying that this money is for the middle class, because she wants to use the majority of this money, almost $1 trillion of the $2 trillion they want to spend in this bill, on money for states and cities of what the Republicans call bailout money for Democratic states and cities that have mismanaged their funds. Almost none of that money goes to middle class or any Americans at all. It goes to states and cities. It goes into their budgets. It does somewhat help them pay for people that work at states and cities, local governments, things like that. It will prevent layoffs somewhat. But that money doesn't go directly to the people. The money that goes basically directly to the people is two things: the stimulus checks and the unemployment extension. I mean, that money literally goes directly to the people. The money for small businesses, the PPP loan, somewhat also goes to the American people in the fact that it goes to small business owners, which is your typical average everyday mom and pop shops when you go into your local city. And it also, they have to use that money to pay the paychecks. It's called the PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program. So they have to use the majority of that money on the paychecks of their employees to prevent them from being laid off and to prevent the business from going out of business. So really the two main things are the stimulus checks and the unemployment extension update. It's not $1 trillion for states and cities. That doesn't really help the middle class Americans, the middle class families, what she said. But you guys can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think the Democrats are compromising and trying to get the next stimulus package passed? Now, I should mention that I covered this in my past video, the last video, if you didn't catch that. Steny Hoyer, the House Majority Leader for the Democrats, did make an announcement that the Democrats are trying to have a new bill released next week, and they're going to basically have all the Democratic support for it, which almost gets it passed. It actually gets it passed in the House and almost in the Senate. They only need a few votes to get it passed in the Senate. And what they're going to do is, instead of just announcing the bill and voting on it and making the mistake that both the Democrats and the Republicans have done with releasing their own bills and then just voting on it in the House or Senate. And then the other party says, yeah, right. You think we're going to vote on your bill? Yeah, right. Apparently that's how Congress works now. So what they've done, apparently now they've figured out that they can't do that. Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell have only been in Congress for 30 plus years. They're just now figuring this out, that they have to get support from the other side first. So what Steny Hoyer says from the Democrats is they're going to release a new stimulus bill next week. And what they're going to do is they're going to go straight to the President Donald Trump, and get his approval on the bill since he's the leader of the Republicans. And if they can get his approval on the bill, they think they can get it passed. Now, again, the Democrats can pass it in the House just by themselves. They only need a few votes in the Senate to get it passed also. So I personally think this is a very good plan from the Democrats. It does show that they are trying to make a deal. If they do this, it's a lot better plan than what we've seen from either side in months. The only other better plan was that Problem Solvers Caucus bill, which I think they should draft into an actual bill and vote on it, because that is from both 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans from the House. It's already got bipartisan support, and it had things in there for both parties, including 2 stimulus checks or the possibility of a second one in March. I guess I should say a third one. You'd get a second stimulus check now of $1,200 and $500 for all dependents. And then if the pandemic or the virus continues into March of next year, we would receive a third stimulus check. And it also has this exact same thing with the unemployment. It has an unemployment extension now and another unemployment extension next year if the pandemic continues, which it sure looks like it's going to, especially with top CDC experts saying that they don't expect an actual vaccine to come out until the middle of next year. Now, this is very different from what the president wants, because the president wants a vaccine to come out before the election, so literally within the next 30 days. I am not sure if that's going to happen. That's going to be very, very pushed if they do that. Although the president does call his vaccine Operation Warp Speed, so maybe it could happen in the next 30 days. We've also been hearing a lot of news from the White House regarding how much they want to pass stimulus checks before the election. President Donald Trump is pushing Republicans to pass a larger stimulus bill and to just go for a larger deal, which would mean more than $1.5 trillion, because that's pretty much what they've been at, 1.3 to 1.5 before. So it looks like he's saying to the Republicans to basically just go to $2 trillion, which is almost what Nancy Pelosi wants. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and also one of the 2 Republican negotiators, told CNBC he is more optimistic about the chances for a deal in the last 72 hours than he has been in the last 72 days. Mark Meadows also said that he expects to get a deal done within the next 7 to 10 days. This is really good news. I mean, he seems very optimistic, and he's been very, very optimistic since that new Problem Solvers Caucus bill came out. I personally think they should just vote on that bill, but Donald Trump is saying to basically just go for more bigger stimulus to appease the Democrats. The Democrats are saying they're coming out with a new bill next week, and they're going to go to the president to okay it and get his approval, which I think he's going to, because he just wants to pass anything before the election. So I think we're making a lot of progress, and we literally could have a second stimulus package agreement within the next several days. President Donald Trump also says on national security concerns that he is going to ban 2 of the most popular apps in the world from being used in the United States starting this Sunday. The popular apps TikTok and WeChat will be barred from US app stores starting on Sunday, the Trump administration said on Friday, capping weeks of speculation by the US and the Chinese authorities to come to an agreement that would allow the apps to continue operating. The new actions are part of President Donald Trump's campaign to protect American consumers and businesses from the threats of the Chinese Communist Party. U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said in a statement, "At the President's direction, we have taken significant action to combat China's malicious collection of American citizens' personal data while promoting our national values. Democratic rules based norms and aggressive enforcement of U.S. laws and regulations." The reason the president states this is a national security concern is because there is a Chinese law that requires companies of Chinese origin to share data with Chinese intelligence agencies, irrespective of where they operate. So basically, if you are a Chinese company that is originated from China, you are required to share the data of the people that use your app with the Chinese government. And that's why the US and President Donald Trump is starting to completely ban apps that are from China. These two apps are not only wildly successful across the world, but are very popular in the US also. TikTok, which is like the most fastest growing app in the US and probably the world, has over 500 million users already. With over 100 million users in the United States alone, and remember, the United States only has about 330 million people in the US. So 100 million people of the 330 million people in the US are using TikTok. WeChat has 1 billion users worldwide and is basically a messaging app that people use to communicate across the entire world. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think it's right of the president to completely ban these apps based on national security concern that all the users' data is being shared with the Chinese government because these apps originated from China? And don't forget to subscribe below and hit the like button if you haven't yet. We have new videos going live at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you guys updated as soon as more information comes out. And you can click on these videos to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.